promised you story time, so here we go. But it's not just any story time today. We're not going to talk about fashion or styling. No, today we're going to talk about the tales of my butt, Oksana. For those who are new here and don't understand what's going on, I injured my butt. And for those who already knew that I injured my butt, you guys probably didn't know that I injured my butt, Oksana, 3 times. Yes. Andrea, how did you do it, and when did you do it, and how did it happen? I hear you say. Well, that's why we gathered here today, to find out. Now, shall I start the story at the beginning or at the end? That is the question. First, I would like to thank all of you who haven't unsubscribed because I haven't posted, for hanging in there, believing that there will be content one day again. And a special thank you to all my patrons. I have not posted for ages on Patreon, and if I could smack my butt, I would. But we always have a lot of fun in our direct messages, and I think I've almost completed all of your styling video requests, so that's not bad. But anyway, thank you, dear patrons, for sticking with me. You know, as a content creator, it can be quite scary when you injure yourself, because there's no one who's going to pay your wages, really. And so having patrons supporting you is very humbling. So thank you very much. And if you too want to support me, the link is down in the description box. And what I can promise is that I will respond to your messages, I'll answer your styling queries, and wherever I can, I will fulfill your video requests. Thank you. Okay, so usually for story time, I wear super comfortable clothes. But because I spent the last 2 weeks in bed, I felt like making myself pretty. So I'm wearing this beautiful cotton dress in case you were wondering why, and the details again are in the description box. Okay, enough. On to the story. So about 3 weeks ago, it was a beautiful sunny morning. I had just finished my morning coffee, and I thought, okay, let me start the day. So I get up. I was wearing a t-shirt and boxer shorts. I put on my slippers, exited the bedroom. I had the coffee cup in my left hand and my phone in the other one, which meant that I had no hand free to grab the banister. Not good. I always hold the banister, but this time I didn't. These are the stairs. Yes, they're dirty, I've not cleaned them. And suddenly, I slip on the top of the stairs because my slippers are slippery. Or rather, my slippers were slippery because they are in the bin now. And all I know was that I was rumbling and tumbling. A shrill shriek exited my mouth. Everything went by fast, and yet in slow-mo at the same time, until I found myself at the bottom of the stairs with the bottom in agony. So I was lying on my back and holding my butt to see whether it was still there. Thankfully it was. And the pain was everywhere, and I didn't understand exactly what happened. Had I broken my coccyx yet again? I didn't understand. So I touched my bones, and everything seemed in order, but oh, it was painful. And I tried to get up, but I could feel a wave of faintiness wash over me. As quickly as I could, I just lay down again, making sure I would not faint, and heard Oksana yet again. My husband came running down the stairs. "Andrea, are you okay? Oh my God, do you need the ambulance?" And I said, "I don't know. I might have broken my butt, but I don't know. I think I'm fine. Don't call them yet." Here's an image of my bruise. Yes, that's part of my butt. These are photos of my elbows. And this is a photo of my phone case. And here the skid mark, not of my butt, but of the phone case along the wall. And this is where I must have dropped my coffee cup. As you can see, I hadn't finished my coffee. All over the wall. I have to paint it now. I couldn't get it off. Great. So I spent 2 weeks in bed, and it was really hard to move. And any happenings on the toilet were very scary, but everything went fine, thankfully. So I actually had only sprained my coccyx, and I don't even require my butt cushion anymore. And you know what? This time around I actually learned something. I learned 3 things. First of all, a donut cushion is not good for coccyx injuries, because the hole is not where it should be. You need a cushion like this, because you know how your coccyx is at the very end of your bottom? Well, here, the opening is exactly where your coccyx would be sitting. So yeah, she has been my best friend for the last few weeks. Thank you for your support. What I also learned is, do not wear slippery slippers. Ever. Ever. If you have slippery slippers, straight into the bin. Get rid of them now. Pause the video. Take them. Into the bin they go. So this is the story of how I injured my butt this time. But did you know that I had actually broken my coccyx twice before? Let me quickly tell you how that happened. The first time, I think I was around 10 or 11. I don't know why, but we were all obsessed with this particular song and dance. We had just finished a gym lesson, and we were in the changing room. And someone came up with the idea of dancing that dance. Now, that's all well and good. But the problem was, when I made the down movement, my butt scraped along the wooden bench. The pain was excruciating. And so from that day onwards, my coccyx was not like this, but like that. How do I know? Because I could feel it. Not good. And the tragic thing is that because I was so shy, I didn't tell anyone about that injury. I know. I don't really know why, and I can't really explain. But I didn't tell my parents. And that's that. And we would go to the south of France every year by car from Germany, Berlin, to the south of France. That's about 24 hours of driving. So I would sit there in the car in agony, my bum mumbling,
Andrea, when is this journey over? When can I get a rest? What is this all about?
And I would have to tell my butt, I'm so sorry, but soon, at least you can relax in the Mediterranean Sea. It'll be good. Don't worry. So that's story number 1, the first tale of Oksana. I've already told you the third tale of Oksana, the most recent one. And now the middle part. What happened there? Well, at that time what happened was, I was associate lecturer at Anglia Ruskin University, which is where I was writing my PhD at the time. If you'd like a story time about what I studied, why I didn't finish my PhD and all this kind of stuff, and what I wanted to become when I was a child, let me know. Anyway, I had just finished a seminar, which I thought went really well. I was very nervous because it was one of my first seminars. But it went well, I was elated, I was happy. I went back to the train, and then by train I went back to London Liverpool Street Station. And in London Liverpool Street Station, I disembark, I take a few steps on the platform, and slip on a grape. And of course, I fell on my butt. Oh, the pain. It was on another level. People were rushing towards me, which was nice. I said, no, I'm fine, I'm fine. I get up, I take a few steps, and lose consciousness, fall backwards, hit a metal pole with the back of my head, and collapse. The station staff was very lovely. They called an ambulance, looked after me, all good, all good. But oh, the pain in my butt. Unbelievable. So the ambulance took me to the hospital. They had to stitch the back of my head. And I repeatedly said, oh, my butt. Oh, my butt is hurting. My butt is hurting. But no one took me seriously. It then turned out, when I got home, and when I wasn't that delirious anymore, turned out what happened was, you know my coccyx that was like this? Through that fall, I had realigned it. So when I was a child, I broke it. And that second time round, I broke it again. So I guess I was kind of lucky. But oh, the pain, you guys, the pain. I remember that the ambulance guy, bless him, they all do a great job. But I remember that he was a little bit displeased because I was shaking so much from pain. He thought I only hurt my head. Big deal. Although it can be a big deal. Actually, I had broken my butt. Okay? And these, my friends, were the 3 tales of my butt Oksana. I hope you had an enjoyable and insightful time. Always look where you're stepping and wear good shoes that have grip. You're welcome. See you next time.